right. Never doubt that you're the one, and you can have your dreams. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep it down.
What up, players? It's the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Wednesday, or as Big J likes to call it, Wednesday. He says it helps him spell it.
I call it Hump Day.
Welcome to the 4th day of June 2025. My name is Nick, and I humbly present to you radio's Big J. Hey, Big J, how are you?
Hey, man, good.
I'm hanging in there. Thanks for asking. We got ourselves a nice little Wednesday.
A chance to ask.
That's true. That's a nice little Wednesday show planned for you. Big J has a movie review for you. I don't know if you checked your mail or not yesterday, Big J, but you, courtesy of our listeners, received an invitation to murder. And he watched the movie on Amazon Prime and will report back today on his thoughts and feelings about said movie, which I am jumping to conclusions, but am guessing is a murder mystery. And, of course, we also have a chance for you to get qualified for the best seats in the house. And we have a chance to get you qualified for the X's Rockstar Remodel, which, of course, is happening at 9:15 with Guess That Grunt. We're very excited to get you in the running for that. Plus, we have tickets to give away, too. That's going to be cool. You're going to want to be a part of the fun, I guess, is my whole point.
Yay!
The whole reason why I'm tuning in. Can I start the show officially with some morning after lore?
Okay.
We've interviewed a lot of people on this show, Big J. And we've had, I would say, our fair share.
I can't remember them all.
Our fair share of awkward interviews. But, like, if you had to name, like, maybe one of the most awkward interviews, do you think you could do it off the top of your head? Where both of us were uncomfortable?
Yeah, Chris Kattan.
Yes.
Chris Kattan.
And I'm telling you this because I was listening to something yesterday which it was a long-form interview with Chris Kattan, and I was like, man, I wonder how this is going to go.
This is the weirdest thing ever.
And you'll be happy to know he's just as uncomfortable with everybody else as he was with us.
Not us. Wasn't us.
It was not us. The thing about Chris Kattan was, for the life of me, I could not remember what he was unplugging, but we were talking to him about the project, and we had clearly come to a conclusion. Like, we were finished talking about whatever we wanted to talk about. And then Chris just didn't want to go. He's like, hey, so what are you guys up to later today? And we're like, well, are you in town?
It's like we were ordering a drink of Dutch. And we were wanted to get on with our day and not feel like a creep.
Right. And then he just started asking things about our personal lives. And I mean, it was a little bit weird and uncomfortable. And we both hung up when we hung up the phone, we both looked at each other and were like, that was weird, right? So Chris Kattan still has that weird vibe going on.
Great.
And because there was a point where I was like, did he just not feel comfortable with us, or felt like he weren't close enough? We were too impersonal.
He loved us.
Whatever. No, that's pretty much what it was. I felt like it was a compliment because he got really weird with this guy, and I know he knows this guy really well. So it felt like a badge of honor, I guess, is my point. So we no longer have to feel bad about that Chris Kattan interview.
Great.
The Bijou Phillips interview that we did not air because it was so awful and weird, we can still feel bad about that. But we also have music on this show. Let's get started with some Red Hot Chili Peppers, kicking things off here on the morning after with Nick and Big J on the X Rocks.
The morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, I mean, we're going to go back. I don't know if you remember us talking about this, but several months ago we had talked about the University of Idaho and how they were in at least fairly early conversations with trying to acquire the University of Phoenix. Now, the University of Phoenix, probably more known as like, an online university and doing a lot of studies in that particular capacity and trying to get people their degrees that maybe aren't able to go to your traditional college. And the University of Idaho, trying to increase their national footprint, thought it would be a really good idea to maybe make a move and pick up the University of Phoenix. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. It's been several years since that started, but they have terminated their talks. Apparently, both institutions have mutually agreed to end their discussions regarding the acquisition. They've been starting this talk. Basically, it was agreed to in 2023, but before the announcement, they had to do 3 executive sessions discussing the deal, and they held those behind closed doors. And then basically the state board said you got to figure things out by June 10th if you're going to make this acquisition, because there's a lot of money that's involved here, and we got to make sure everything's on the up and up. And basically, the board said, well, we're just going to knock it off. We're not going to discuss the takeover anymore. If approved, the University of Idaho would have to come forward with about $17 million at least to start the acquisition. And I don't know if it was a money hurdle or what. Again, these were closed-door meetings, so nobody really knows why this whole thing fell apart, only that it did. So the University of Idaho sounds like it's just going to be the University of Idaho for now. And Big J is somebody that hates the University of Idaho. I'm sure you are happy that it no longer is a nationwide name. Agree or disagree?
Now, come on.
I don't know. I don't know how deep that hatred goes.
I don't necessarily hate the institution of education there.
Well, anytime somebody went to the University of Idaho or had a University of Idaho, let's say, flag or coffee cup, you would spit at it.
My sister graduated the University of Idaho, so.
I understand, but are you denying the fact that when somebody had a University of Idaho coffee cup, you go,
no, but that was more just like.
It makes me think you don't like the University of Idaho, full stop.
It's more like that's just faux messing around, you know? Like our friend, at least I'll say my wife's good friend, and she probably tolerates me, but wonderful people. She used to be our HR person, and they have a wonderful house over in the kind of Colwell-Milton area.
Beautiful.
They both I think graduated the University of Idaho. I can't talk this morning, but they have their driveway has the University of Idaho logo.
They're into it, yes.
And I drive in, and I'm like, oh.
Ugh. See, there's nobody there to see that, I guess is my point. So you must not
I know.
Actually like
I got to keep it real inside, you know? I'm a loyal guy. I went to BSU for 10 minutes.
I get it.
You know?
I get it. Well, listen, yeah, you bleed blue. You put in your time. Steph Curry has revealed that he is looking into going into broadcasting after he retires from basketball, Big J. But he says he's going to be a little bit more picky than Draymond Green, his teammate, which, of course, just, has a podcast and it'll pop up anywhere. He says, listen, I'm going to be a little bit more patient. I'm going to think about what the right opportunity for him would be because he wants to be all in on it. But Steph Curry has already got his hands in a lot of different things, including different broadcasts. I mean, what's the name of that golf show that you used to like that Steph Curry was a part of?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't watch it anymore?
Yeah, no.
So
Rob Riggle was part of it. And
Holy Moly, right?
Holy Moly, yes.
He was a part of that. And then
producer and all that stuff.
He also had his own show on Peacock for a while where he popped up as himself. That got canceled after one season. But he has done a couple other things that involve the entertainment industry. So it's not that much of a surprise that he wants to get into broadcasting, right?
No, yeah, of course not.
So I'm sure he'll be great at it. And maybe they'll be looking to add to the Inside the NBA crew on ESPN by the time he's ready to call it a career. So I'm sure, he's one of the greatest of all time. He feels like he's fairly charismatic. He can carry on a conversation. My guess is he'll be able to pick wherever the hell he wants to go and do whatever the hell he wants to do. He's one of those guys where you're like, he's going to be on your TV for a while. Big J, the Tony Awards have announced who is going to be giving out some awards, and it's a who's who of people that Big J enjoys. Bryan Cranston, Ben Stiller, Samuel L. Jackson, Keanu Reeves.
Definitely.
And more will all be presenting at the 78th Annual Tony Awards. Cynthia Erivo is going to host the ceremony, which will feature performances from the Broadway shows being honored. The show will air this Sunday on CBS. If you're into the Broadway world or musicals or plays, you're going to want to tune in and check it out. Or maybe you just want to see your favorite celebrity do something. It will be on TBS. Excuse me, I said TBS. It's CBS this Sunday. My apologies to CBS. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks. Offspring Self-Esteem here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's so much that goes into releasing a movie in today's marketplace. Not just putting together a movie and picking it out, but also there's the marketing of the film, and more importantly, Big J, there's the merchandising of the film.
The merchandise.
Who gets to be the official whatever of whatever? You know what I mean?
Spaceball 2, more balls.
And it looks like the two big summer releases have decided who they are going to align with. And they're both superhero movies. Big J, if you are excited about the Fantastic Four movie that is coming out in July, then boy howdy are you going to want to pick up Pop-Tarts, because they have decided to release limited edition Fantastic Four themed blue raspberry flavored Pop-Tarts. Those will only be available at Walmart, so make sure you keep that in mind.
You keep that in mind. You're the Pop-Tart guy.
That will have a gooey blue center, and it will showcase the superhero. But also, anywhere you go, the Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tarts will also have some Marvel designs on them. Those will be available nationwide. The one thing I wanted to ask was, how do you think they come up with the flavor? Because of blue, because of Fantastic Four, you think that's what it is?
I
don't
mean,
think it's like
their uniforms, blue and white. I mean, so that very
But
it pops too.
They already have blueberry Pop-Tarts that are blue and white, I guess is the point. And I'm sure they're going to look pretty much the same, but they probably wanted to release a different flavor to make it extra special. But strawberry, probably the best-selling Pop-Tart, which is why they wanted to attach their name to that. That makes sense. Superman, Big J, the other big release of the summer, is going
to the sky.
A little bit off the beaten path. They are teaming up with Keebler. Do you remember them, the little elves that run around in the trees?
Man.
They are going to release a limited edition Superman fudge stripe cookie that features mixed berry fudge and Superman-inspired designs. That's going to coincide with the film's release on July 11th. The cookies offer a chance to win prizes through Digital Content Hub and a simulation game, so there's a little bit extra content involved in that. I don't know what kind of prizes you could win from purchasing Keebler cookies, but obviously they're leaning into the kids side of things, going sweet, going with, a little bit of the sugary treats. And so those are going to be the official cookies and the official Pop-Tarts of the summer's biggest releases. Do you remember growing up, if there was something you were really excited about buying the official companion food to and enjoying? Really? Never?
I don't think that was the thing. Well, plus, I mean, I grew up in a small town. Really, when you get down to it, I didn't get nothing.
Well, they had stuff at the store, I guess.
Barely.
I remember...
We were out, harvesting our own food in the farm.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. You were picking grain from the field.
Yeah.
You didn't have time to go to the store.
That's right.
There are two things in this particular department that I remember. One when I was a kid and one fairly recently. One when I was a kid was I used to love E.T. cereal. Do you remember E.T. cereal? It was peanut butter and chocolate. It was so bleeping good.
Remember, I wasn't a cereal kid.
E.T. was on the box. It's the equivalent of like what Reese's Puffs is now. That wasn't a thing back when I was a kid. E.T. cereal was the cereal that was a go-to. But I have a picture and I posted it on my social media, which is why I remember it. But I was shopping like 6 years ago and I picked up a salad and it was the official bag salad of Star Wars.
What? How dumb is
that?
that?
The Force Awakens. And I took a picture of it and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. There's an official bag salad of the Force Awakens from Star Wars on it.
Who did that? Like, who?
I
They
don't even
probably
know.
thought it was the greatest thing ever. Like,
It's exactly what my post said. It was like, can you imagine the boardroom at the salad place going, yes, we got the official bag salad of
Whoa.
Star Wars. I can't believe it. We finally reached the pinnacle of bag salads. Take that, other bag salads. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, you got to be bleeping kidding me, man.
Bantha milk dressing.
Well, they actually released Bantha milk as well.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, of course, because you can't have Mark Hamill milking something and not somehow milk it yourself in the boardroom.
Ugh.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got a movie review from Big J. It's happening next on the X Rocks. Stone Temple Pilots, that is Creep here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Yesterday, you guys selected a movie for Big J to watch. It was called An Invitation to Murder, and it was on Amazon Prime. Big J spent some time watching himself a murder mystery, and now we find out if it was any good. Big J, to you, sir.
Yeah, Nick, I got a question first we get into this. How far would you've been on the other hand of this, you've watched some streaming dumbass movies. How far will you go to watch the movie?
How far will I go to watch the movie?
What's the extents you'll go to get the movie?
I'll give you an example. So one time, my friend Big J was
did screw
tasked
up.
with putting together a couple of movies and selected 3 movies, all of which were not available on any streaming
not all
platform.
3 of them.
Well,
Not
2
all
out
3
of the 3 were, because I looked at the other one to finish in second place, and it also was. But it was supposed to come out the following week on streaming, and so the only way to get a hold of the movie was to rent it for like $11. So I have done that for a movie that was
I've
really,
done that
really bad.
multiple times
Yes,
as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
So that would be as far as I would go.
So here's the situation, Nick. Of course, I spent all day here yesterday, and then eventually at the knitting factory for a few hours for a meet and greet situation. Got home at about 7:30 last night, and when you know, the internet is out.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that's not a good thing, and it didn't get cleared up until like 10 o'clock or so. Oh. And so I'm not. Here's one thing I won't do. I'll do a lot to see this movie. I'm not going to watch it on my phone.
Okay,
like that's just not how I'm going to watch a movie. And so the second thing, and a lot of times what happens is sometimes I don't have time. I'll watch half the movie at home, and I'll watch the other half here in the morning when I get to work as I'm doing my other stuff. The movie's an hour and a half, so I couldn't complete the movie. I only got about halfway through here this morning, so I can't give a review. And I just feel like it's like wrong for me to just I can go and look up and make some assumptions or whatever. I mean, it's just not. I don't feel like it's the integrity way to go to not give you the complete.
I appreciate the honesty and understand the difficulties and
pretty
completely
rare.
respect
I don't
the
know
hurdle.
if I've ever this has actually happened before.
No, I mean, we rely so much on technology, things can go sideways, and when that does, it is difficult to stream a movie when you don't have any internet. So
yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
I get it. That being said, has it hooked you, or if you never go back to the rest of this movie, are you okay?
No, I can now kind of, I'm a little bit into it.
Okay.
I'm like, I wonder what the heck's going on here.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a little bit intriguing at least.
So it's enough to make, will you finish the movie, I guess, is my second question.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I'll give you the review tomorrow.
Okay.
Like maybe a half nerdle or half review. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll definitely have the full review tomorrow. But it was one of those weird circumstances. And really, honestly, internet-wise, like we've had a really good run of our internet working. And, this is something where it's absolutely 100% necessary. My wife works from home exclusively on the internet, so it's got to be good, and we pay a good amount of price. But what happened was last week, or near the end of last week, our internet went out for a few hours, and that was a rare occurrence. This happened again last night around the same time. And I'm like, I think they probably have, and I was like, this is what happens around here. They probably have a broken part that they're waiting for to come in. In the meantime, they've Band-Aided it, and that keeps failing.
Yeah.
That happens here a lot.
Yes.
So hopefully it stays on throughout the day. So that would be nice. But yeah, it's a bummer. But we'll try to make up for it tomorrow.
Well, the good news is the movie's got your hooks in you, because there's plenty of movies that you have said thanks but no thanks to less than halfway through.
Oh, about 90% of them.
So, that's not true. What's the numbers? I mean, we're at about 50% this year, right, of movies that you've approved and you haven't? I think we're about halfway there.
Yeah,
so,
a little under, I think, 50%.
Yeah, I think we're at like 40% or 45%, something like that. And we'll see what this one does. Maybe it could bring us to even. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some important stuff next on the X Rocks. A brand new survey, Big J, says that there has been a significant spike in cannabis consumption among senior citizens in the United States.
Good for them.
Approximately 7% of adults aged 65 and older say that they used marijuana in the past month, marking a 46% increase from 2021, when that figure was 4.8%. Data showed while men still had higher rates than women, the increase was more pronounced among women. Additionally, the biggest uptick was observed in the highest income bracket, Big J, with senior citizens and boomers making about more than $75,000 a year, enjoying the devil's lettuce a little bit more. You understand?
Yeah.
Experts attribute that to the growing legalization of cannabis across the country. That makes sense to me. I mean, listen, first of all, boomers now are those that were around and alive in the 60s that, that was when that culture really came to pass. But also, if you were to ask this question 15 years ago, it's against the law to answer it in the positive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that has changed, and so much. There's nothing wrong with smoking pot in 48 states in this country. We happen to be in one where it is a problem. And so when you can say those things, you're not breaking the law. Here you would be. I just feel like a lot more people have the opportunity to be honest now than they did back when these studies were first getting kind of taken.
Yeah, they probably never stopped.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
For being honest about it.
The research also found associations between increased marijuana use and various chronic medical conditions. Like, people are in pain when they're in their 60s and 70s and need some sort of pain relief. So why not find to enjoy the medical benefits of cannabis along with, living your life, right?
And look, the other day we talked about a study that just came out about how, cannabis, whether, edible or smoking increases your risk of heart disease. That's an early indicator, at least in the study that they did. But I would say it's also balanced by the fact that, cannabis has helped really curb the opioid crisis in the addiction process, and how that's been a part of tapering that off because of pain management with THC and CBC. So that's one of those things where you need to balance out these kind of things and, take that into consideration. So
you're absolutely right. There are good and bad things that a lot of things do. The question then becomes, which side of that particular battle do you want to be on? We have picked our side here in Idaho. That has been chosen. While some of us disagree in how it goes, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, as we talk about on a fairly regular basis around here. Big J, the New York Knicks made the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years.
Yeah, you know what they should do?
Had a full-on parade rager going on once they made the Eastern Conference Finals. They have made the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. What happens? How do you get congratulated?
You fire the coach.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened. The New York Knicks fired coach Tom Thibodeau yesterday. That happened. They did lose to the Pacers in 6 games, but the playoff run was way better than anybody expected, considering it was a relatively new core of players, and considering they knocked out the defending champion Boston Celtics in the second round, albeit a not healthy Boston Celtics team. A win is still a win.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, Big J. A lot of people that maybe aren't familiar with the world of the NBA will see this and go, what are the Knicks doing? But this has been the history of Tom Thibodeau for his entire career. I don't know if you've followed him around, but he has been a coach for a very long time, coached a lot of teams to various degrees of success. But the one thing that that Tom Thibodeau carries with him everywhere he goes is, to a person, everybody that plays for Tom Thibodeau absolutely hates playing for him, because he doesn't substitute very much. Like, the starters play, like, he's got like a 7-man rotation, and those guys, you're playing 40, 42 minutes a game, and so you're worn out by the end of the season. He's fairly hard on the players. Nobody really enjoys playing for him, and they all get tired at the end of the year. So every time a Tom Thibodeau team gets kicked out of the playoffs, they go, well, it's because he never plays his bench. Everybody's tired and beat, and they're just gassed. They don't have anything left in the tank. And so I guess the question for me then becomes, you knew what you were getting when you hired this coach. You can't be surprised that this is the way it goes. Happened in Minnesota, happened in Chicago, happened everywhere he's ever been. All the players hate playing for him because they play too much. He's hard on them. He's not a player's guy. He coaches the way he wants to coach. But it does usually lead to some success, like the Knicks particular team does. So I guess I don't know why you would hire him if you didn't think that was going to be the case. But this always happens with Tom. Eventually, the NBA also is a players' league. Eventually, your superstars, if they're pissed at you and don't want to play for you, you're gone. Doesn't matter how successful you are. I believe that's the case with a couple of the Knicks superstars like Brunson and Cat. I don't think they enjoy playing for him, and they want to get somebody that they do enjoy playing for.
See, one of the guys was asked after the game if they thought that Thibodeau's job was in jeopardy, and he's like, "Are you choking? That's crazy."
Yeah.
He didn't think that was Jaden Green, I think.
I have no idea, but I believe that. But also, that's what you're going to say when the cameras are rolling. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, behind closed doors, you're like, hey, dude, bleep this guy. I'm playing 45 minutes a game. No wonder we didn't win game 6 or 7, you know?
Yeah. Oh, boy. I mean, gosh.
So, but anyway, somebody's got to take the blame when you underperform, and I believe the fans had expectations after they had the whole parade before. But I believe the basketball gods curse you when you celebrate your team going to a conference finals and not winning it all. Not even winning the conference finals, just getting past the second round of the NBA. You cursed your own team the second you threw a parade and started turning cars around over when that happened. That's your own fault, Knicks fans.
Pre-losers.
Big J, if you enjoy Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, then you are going to know that it's coming soon to a streaming platform near you. Hulu and Peacock will start streaming those shows this fall thanks to a new Sony deal. They want to reach some younger audiences, Big J. They're tired of the gray hairs of being the only ones watching Wheel of Fortune. And so they want to make sure other people can watch it as well. Episodes will be available the day after they air, marking the first time the shows will be widely accessible outside of syndication and broadcast TV. And you'll be able to watch them on demand. So it's a nice little ad if you enjoy those shows or you like game shows in general. The 2 biggest ones in the country are coming soon to streaming, which is crazy that it took to 2025 to make this happen. But, you know, listen, The Price is Right isn't streaming anywhere. It's probably a really big one. Any of the daytime ones have a struggle to do it, but the primetime or like the celebrity editions of these, they're on the streaming platforms. It's just the standard issue shows that haven't been on, but now they are, so get ready to watch. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. It is the...
Let's PLAY.
That's spelled play.
The X Spelling Bee for a chance to win the best seats in the house to X Fest 2025 from Birds of Prey Motorsports and 100.3 The X Rocks.
X-Fest 2025 going to be here before you know it. We're going to have Chevelle at Poet Society, Asking Alexandria, and more ready to go for you. And we've got a VIP section that is pretty high society, Big J.
Yeah.
So good enough you get in there, but how about you also have the best seats in the house for this gigantic festival, and you get to enjoy seats nobody else could possibly sit in. We're talking about...
The Illuminati.
Well, listen...
Like, that's the kind of place this is, right?
I don't know if I want to... I think when you say the Illuminati, people attach negative thoughts and automatic feelings to it.
Why is controlling the world a bad thing? You're the person doing it.
Because a lot of times there may be... it's usually talked in like they're suppressing me and those kind of things.
Gotta break some eggs to make an omelet.
You don't have that kind of power, I'll be honest. If you're sitting in the best seats in the house and you tell Big J, I want Chevelle to go on now, that's not going to happen, okay? So let's not try to attach an all-powerful...
Okay, all right, fine. You're not a part of the Illuminati if you're
you.
the best seats of the house at X-Fest 2025.
Thank you. If you want to be part of the Illuminati, you are going to have to meet Big J separately and use the official password that only people in the Illuminati know.
Handshake.
It's a handshake? My apologies. See, that's how out of the loop I am. But if you want to sit in a 2025 Maverick X3 DS Turbo courtesy of Birds of Prey Motorsports at X-Fest 2025 and the best seats in the house, you better get on the phone now. 208-287-1003 and spell a word correctly that has an X theme to it. Not these fancy schmancy regular spelling bee words. Nobody's smart enough to pull that off. What do we look like? We're 13?
Jason Drew's listeners are.
And we can spell it? No. Well, Jason Drew listeners use Google, I believe. We like to put people on the spot. You understand me?
All right.
So if you think you got what it takes, get on the horn, 208-287-1003. We will test your spelling skills right now and see how you do. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Good morning, the X. Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Joe.
All right, Joe, you're up first. Here comes Big J with a word you have to spell correctly.
Santeria.
Oh.
The song you just heard by Sublime.
Sorry, what was that?
Santeria.
That's the word you have to spell, Joe.
Is it Santeria?
You spell like Big J.
That
No,
is incorrect,
sorry,
Joe.
man.
I am sorry, sir, but thank you for playing along. Santeria
dude.
is not spelled that way. Well, not everybody's perfect, Big J. Hello, the X.
Hello.
Hello, here comes Big J with a word you have to spell correctly.
The song we just played before this, Santeria.
Santeria.
You're close, but not exactly right. You're off one letter. You did it exactly like it's spelled, and you just missed it by just a little bit. Hello, the X.
Hey there, how's it going?
We're good, man. Here comes Big J with a word you have to spell correctly to get qualified. Good luck.
We need to hear the spelling for Santeria.
Santeria. Santeria.
Congratulations.
That's it. You spelled it correctly. Good job, man. What's your name?
Aaron Slater.
Aaron Slater, you are officially qualified for the best seats in the house. Hang on. God, if your middle name is starts with a C, you're AC Slater, dude. How cool would that be? Aaron, does your middle name start with a C?
No, it's P for Patrick.
That's how we were close. AP Slater almost sounds like it. That's a Saved by the Bell reference, Big J. You never watched it.
No, I never did.
Morning After with Nick and
Busy
Big J.
controlling the world.
There's your X spelling bee. We'll have another chance for you to qualify with Jason Drew at 12:30 with an exponentially more difficult word. Maybe he'll make you spell exponentially. And then also you have a one at 5:10 with Adam today, so you're going to want to tune in for those opportunities to qualify for the best seats in the house. We're going to go to hell. It's going to happen next on the X Rocks.
With Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Big J, we are going to North Carolina for today's We're Going to Hell story.
The South.
And it starts with a situation that I'm sure plenty of people have had before. It's not great. Maybe you were the one getting into this situation. But, you know, if you have a son or a daughter that is currently in the school system, every once in a while you may get a phone call and say, "Hi, is this Radio's Big J?"
Yes,
Yeah, we got a situation where your child has been involved in an altercation, and we need to have a discussion about their
not my
behavior.
kid.
No,
They would
never
do
your
that.
children. Your
They would
children are the
never-
best.
They would
But
never do that.
I'm just particularly putting this into a situation where somebody may get a phone call where their kid was involved in a scuffle at school, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe, just maybe, they think that your child is the one that started the scuffle. Hell, maybe they did. Who knows? Not every single child's innocent, Big J. Sometimes they get involved in fights. And so this is the situation where they called Mariah Hector, who's 33 years old, the Randolph Middle School in Charlotte, gave her a jingle and said that her daughter got into a fight at school, and they would like Mariah to show up so that they could talk to her. And so she did. She called in, didn't call into work. She's like, "I'm going to go and figure this out now." So she told work she was taking off. She went in, and right away, Big J, let's say that Mariah wasn't exactly on board with the idea, okay? She was apparently hostile during the meeting, wasn't listening to some of the facts involved, just straight up did not believe her daughter was involved in a fight, and she has no idea where the daughter would get that behavior from. That's not how we problem solve in this house. It doesn't
use
make
our words.
any sense why my daughter, my little angel, would be involved in any kind of physical altercation. And so the principal is like, "Okay, listen, it's clear that we're not going anywhere here. You're not listening to what we have, so why don't we just let's adjourn this meeting, and we'll figure out the punishment without your involvement, and we'll let you know how it's going to go." Well, that did not make Mariah very happy. So she allegedly pushed past a school employee, pushing them to the ground. School employee was 60 years old, Big J. Not a great look.
Oh, no.
Then she shoved the school principal, Jennifer Schroeder, into a wall full force. And then she grabbed the assistant superintendent, Jennifer Dean, by the neck and tried to choke her out there in the meeting. And so, unfortunately, Dean did lose consciousness, had visible signs of injury as well. So that placed the school on lockdown, because now you've got potentially the staff being attacked by one of the students' parents. That's not great. They called the police. They took her into custody. And so we got ourselves a little bit of an issue going on here. This is not how you're supposed to resolve situations. And also not a great way to make your case that your kid isn't a violent person. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
If you go right for the chokeout, that feels like, listen, nobody wants to hear bad things about their child. I understand the situation. You automatically are on your kid's side. And when somebody says your child did something that you can't see them do, I can understand seeing red and being upset about it and the way they're treated. But, this is to the nth degree how you do not want to handle said situation. For sure.
Yeah. Or just sign the kid up for karate classes. Turn this into the real karate kid.
We've seen it all before. They find themselves a dojo and all their problems are solved, Big J. Mm-hmm. Then they own a car dealership? That's how that ends, right? So it all works out in the end for the kid, but not the best way to go about doing this. You cannot be able to do that situation and then hope it's going to work out okay. So there are charges pending, there are arrests to be had, and all sorts of things going down, all because of a meeting. And listen, I understand the stress is probably high. You have to leave work early. That probably affects your pay. Your kid's in trouble. You're emotional. You're stressed out. All these things. But taking it to that level is not helping out you. It's not helping out your kid. It's not helping out your situation. It's just not a good look. But, Big J, it's a hell of a We're Going to Hell story.
Yeah, I'll say.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There it is for you. We got ourselves some important stuff coming up in a few minutes. Not to mention, we also have to do some Pop Culture Smackdown. That's on the way on the X Rocks.
Important stuff. Launch newsfeed. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Be Our Guest. You know there's some deals going on this week that are crazy at xrock.com for Be Our Guest, right?
Yeah.
If you click the Be Our Guest link at xrock.com right now, you can get $50 to some great businesses for just 15 for places like Pita Pit. And if I can make a suggestion, Big J, you should grab these Guru Donuts, Be Our Guests, while you can, while supplies last, because they have some amazing donuts. Like, the classics are great, the maple bars, the Boston creams, but man, there's the lemon drop Bismarck is a perfect donut. And then they've got breakfast as well, like the chorizo burrito or the avocado toast. You can check it all out at Guru Donuts and grab $50 worth of it for just $15 at xrock.com right now. Click the Be Our Guest link and grab yourself some. Might be good for breakfast right about now, Big J. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Harvard University has done some studying into the world of caffeinated coffee, Big J, and they found out that if you drink about 1 cup a day, pretty good for you if you're a lady. Researchers tracked the data from 47,000 women over 30 years and found that each additional cup of coffee per day improved the chances of maintaining physical and cognitive health by 5%. So by this logic, Big J, if you drink 50 cups of coffee, you will have 100% cognitive function and maintaining physical health. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Conversely, daily consumption of soda was associated with a 19% lower chance of aging healthily. So basically, coffee good, soda bad. Also, you decrease the chances of the impacts of coffee by how much craft you put in it, right? The sugar, the creamers, all this kind of stuff takes it down a couple of notches, so something to keep in mind.
That's why I drink mine black.
You're also not a lady, so this doesn't impact you as much
damn it.
as you might think it does from the surface.
Not today.
Basically, it does prevent, it does help with mobility. It does help with mental sharpness and emphasizing the importance of combining coffee consumption with other healthy habits like regular exercise and a balanced diet to get everything you want out of that cup of coffee in the morning, ladies. Big J, are you geeked? Are you excited for the Stanley Cup final? It starts tonight, baby.
No.
They're hitting the ice. Come on, it's a rematch of last year's champion Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. Let's go.
Oh, man.
Huh?
Let's go Oilers.
It'll be the first time that there's a finals rematch in back-to-back years since 2009. That's back when Detroit and Pittsburgh were on the ice. The Athletic polled 22 head coaches about who will win. They were split evenly, bro. 11 picked Florida, 11 picked Edmonton. If Edmonton wins, it would be the first time a Canadian team has raised the Stanley Cup since what year, Big J? Pop quiz.
1968?
Oh, come on, no. It's been later than that.
1936?
No, later than that. Not earlier, later.
1988?
You were still in high school. I'll give you that clue.
1994.
Close. 1993. The last time a Canadian team raised the Lord Stanley's Cup, if you will.
That's a really, really long time.
And I'll tell you what, right now, the Canadians are pissed about it. Like, this is their sport, and they haven't raised the trophy in over 30 years. They're not happy about it.
But
So
they shouldn't feel that way because it's not like everybody on their team's Canadian.
No, but they take extra pride in their teams. Listen, I think Canadians care more about hockey than the Americans do.
Absolutely.
And so they don't.
Except for maybe Minnesota and, Wisconsin area.
Yeah, Wisconsin's a college hockey town. They didn't even have a pro team. But it is certainly one of those things where I feel like there's more national pride attached to hockey. That was why it's such a big deal when Canada beat America in the little Olympic pre-up thing that they did this year, the whatever it's called, the Battle of the Nations. That was why it was a big deal. They really do take pride in that kind of stuff. So we'll see if they can do it. Edmonton has the best player on the ice. It did not help them last year. We will see if it helps them this year. Big J, a moment of silence for Mr. Beast. He is a billionaire, but he claims that he has very little money, and he is borrowing money from his mom to pay for his upcoming wedding to his fiancée. Now, he has over 400 million subscribers on YouTube. He reveals that most of his wealth goes into his content creation, and he spends around $250 million on his actual production elements of stuff. But maybe he's just bad at financing, Big J. I mean, I know he gets paid for that Amazon show. That's got to be money. I mean, I know there's cost against it, and he has a whole team that he hires to make these videos and these things that he does, but he's got to be better at spending his money if he has to borrow money to put on a wedding, or it's some exorbitant wedding that I can't even fathom what it looks like.
I just know this, that he probably spares no expense when it comes to his videos.
That's true.
So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I mean, dude's raking in millions of dollars a day.
He is a billionaire. On record, he's a billionaire. Now, a lot of things will tell you that that's the worth, not necessarily what you have liquid. So every billionaire doesn't have $1 billion in their bank. Some of that's tied up in properties, and I'm sure in Mr. Beast's case, it's tied up in a lot of different stuff like equipment and, a staff and all those kind of things. But I'm guessing he's okay.
He also came out to talk about this only just because he's like, I did, because the news got out. He said he did borrow money from his mom for his wedding, but it's because he put so much money. He's trying to, help people not make this into another thing, but he just can't stay out of the news for negative stuff.
Well, right. So, I mean, there's the bunch of people that used to work for him that says that the working conditions are awful and he doesn't do a great job with his staff. And listen, there may be a situation where there needs to be some reassessment in the Mr. Beast world, but it costs money to stay as relevant as you are in a day and in the world that we live in, when everybody has ADD and we all are ready to move on to the next thing. In order to stay relevant like Mr. Beast has for as long as he has, it goes to show you it's $250 million a year to keep him top of mind on your YouTube page. That's a lot of cash.
It's got to also be mentally exhausting. And he's given back a lot to communities.
Yeah.
That's part of it too, but I'm not going to sit here and cry about it.
No, I'm not losing any sleep over Mr. Beast's
he can maybe
account.
shave off, $15 million from the next production to keep for himself.
Yeah, so that you can have a wedding.
Yeah. Maybe you spend a little less on some of the big, extravagant things.
Yeah, or hey, go to a courthouse, bro. That's where you can get that done too.
Go elope.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown. It's next on the X.
Culture Smackdown. Right. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Hell of a Morning After prize package here, if I do say so myself, for Pop Culture Smackdown today. We've got a $50 gift card to Carl's Jr. They brought back the Sourdough Star, baby. You can pick that up. It's got, tangy sourdough star single. It's delicious. Charbroiled beef, crispy bacon, grilled onions, topped with their classic sauce. You can get some of that, won't you? And then coming to town June 21st, Saturday night, Nick, at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center is the one and only Social Distortion Plague Vendor opening up. It's going to be a fantastic show. You can get all this. You just need to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
All right. Former X-Fest artist Social Distortion back in town. If you'd like to go to that and enjoy some Carl's Jr., now would be the time to get on the phone. Our phone number is as follows, 208-287-1003. Let's see if you got what it takes to win some Pop Culture Smackdown action. To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
How is it going?
Good, man. What's up? What's your name?
Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy, you're up first, man. Good luck.
Jeremy, what city does the TV series Breaking Bad take place in?
Ooh, I know it's in Arizona.
I know. Let me give you some choices, okay? Albuquerque, Tulsa, or New York?
What was the last one?
Albuquerque, Tulsa, and New York.
Albuquerque.
There you go. None of those in Arizona, my friend.
You got lucky.
Nick, this actress was maybe the first perfect casting in a video game adaptation ever for Tomb Raider. What was her name?
Angelina Jolie.
There you go. That's right. Excellent. Jeremy, actor Noah Wiley couldn't leave the world of emergency medicine in ER behind. He now stars in this hit medical show on Max. Is it The Pit, Grey's Anatomy, or Chicago Hope?
The Pit.
Right. Pit is right.
It's a great show. Watch it.
Nick, this two-time nominated actor was the first actor to play a role that killed a John Wayne character in the movie The Cowboys. Nominated 2 times for Oscars for acting.
For acting?
Yes.
He's not, but never won, is what you're telling me.
Correct.
Okay. Western Cowboys is probably in the 60s, so I'll say... No, he won. I'll say Nick Nolte.
Close, but no, it is not correct. It typecast the guy for a long time. John Wayne said, this is going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It was Bruce Dern, sir.
Bruce Dern. Right. All right.
Killed John Wayne, and nobody forgave him for it.
Well, he's done just fine since then, I think, though. But congratulations, man. You got tickets to go check out Social D on the 21st. You also got some Carl's Jr. coming your way. Well played. It's the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got your headlines. They're next on the X Rocks.
News. You have our word on it. For whatever that's worth. It's Headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines brought to you by T-Mazda, the pre-owned superstore, getting finance at T-Mazda even easier now thanks to the website GoTeamCredit.com. Everybody gets pre-approved with no effect on your credit whatsoever. Try it. Log on to GoTeamCredit.com today. Headlines are as follows. Hell yeah, bro. Nice job, dude. Or hey, creep.
Hey, creep.
A lawsuit has been filed against a luxury 5-star resort in Miami after a staff member allegedly entered a guest's locked room and then stared at her while she was in the shower.
Ugh.
The incident occurred at the St. Regis Ball Harbor Resort on December 11th of last year. The victim, identified only by her initials, claims the employee brushed against her naked body before fleeing. She reported the incident to hotel security and her boyfriend, but was advised not to contact the police. The lawsuit alleges gross negligence, invasion of privacy, and obstruction of justice. She's seeking about $7 million in damages. Hotel management has not responded to the lawsuit. Big J, quick judge Big J, does this woman deserve $7 million?
Yeah, absolutely.
With that in mind, can I go on the record? Mm-hmm. Any one of you that want to see me naked, I will take $7 million for it right now.
What if we get to rub against you? How about that part? Because that's part of it as well.
Well, is it just a quick brush?
I don't know. Whatever this guy did to this poor lady.
It says it brushed against her before fleeing was the response. Yes, you can brush against me before you flee.
All right.
I will also accept that for $7 million. But not a penny less, Big J. It's some floozy, you understand? Hell yeah, bro, or nice job, dude.
Nice job, dude.
2 ancient Chinese warriors surviving over 2,000 years were damaged by a tourist who decided to climb into the exhibition pit to reach them. The 30-year-old visitor climbed over the guardrail and the protective net on Friday and then pushed and pulled the warriors, according to security officials. The tourist was stopped by security personnel. The terracotta army, consisting of 8,000 figures plus horses, was created around 209 BC to guard the tomb of China's first emperor. The archaeological site has been a World Heritage Site since 1987 and has been featured in traveling exhibitions, including several in the United States. A museum worker confirmed the site was open to the public on Saturday following the incident, but a reminder, hey, let's keep ourselves out of ancient things and trying to push and pull them over. Agree?
Yeah.
Because that's just not, it's not good. I mean, these things have been around for centuries without us, and now we're messing around with them again. I don't like that.
Not cool, man.
Yeah, we can't have nice things.
Not
This is
cool.
Another proof positive of that. Doesn't matter what country. That's the good news. It's not just the United States that does something dumb like this. But maybe it was a United States tourist. I don't know.
Oh,
it
you didn't know
definitely
that for
was
sure?
a tourist. Yes, I don't know.
Sounds like an American thing to do.
All I know is a tourist. Wrap it up with hell yeah, bro. Big J, there is a museum in Amsterdam that has unveiled a new exhibit that features a nearly 200-year-old condom with erotic artwork, dude.
Oh, yeah. The sex museum.
Prophylactic, believed to be made around 1830, which is made from a sheep's appendix, of course, depicts basically an erotic scene, and the phrase, "This is my choice," written in French, which is a reference to a Renoir painting, in case you're curious, Big J. According to the museum, acquiring the condom has allowed them to focus on 19th century sexuality, a subject that is underrepresented in their collection, in their opinion. The museum states that it embodies both the lighter and darker sides of sexual health during a time when the pursuit of pleasure was, of course, not exactly a popular thing to do. There was a lot of sexually transmitted diseases back in those days, Big J, and lots of fears attached to that. I mean, that was before they had this all figured out. You
Lots
know what
of
I mean?
stank ass. You know, I mean,
you had to really want it back then.
People's hygiene, not great.
Now, this is not the sex museum. It's just a straight-up Rijksmuseum in basically the Netherlands, but they will display this until the end of November.
I did not make it to this museum.
I would really question you if this is high on your list of things to do. Like, no matter what, honey, as we're in Amsterdam, we definitely got to check out the 200-year-old condom. Like, I don't know why that would be high on your list, but it's there, and it's able to check out if you'd like. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. A chance to qualify for the X's Rockstar remodel next on the X Rocks.
Play Guess That Grunt. Presented by Tate's Rents and 100.3 The X Rocks.
All right. right, it is time to get qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. That is $9,000 from some great Treasure Valley businesses and some straight up cash coming your way so that you can do whatever the heck you want to do to your living space. You can upgrade it, you can completely remodel it, you can do whatever you want to do inside and outside. There's some great companies that can help you do everything from changing up your patio to giving you some great furniture to actually fixing your roof to making sure you have good fencing. All of it is involved in the X's Rockstar remodel. And if you want to win the grand prize, well, you're going to have to play Guess That Grunt and get qualified. So get on the phone right now, 208-287-1003. We are going to play you a song, part of a song anyway, that is featured here on the X. You got to tell us the artist or the band that plays that song. There's a grunt, there's some screaming going on, things associated with home remodeling. You understand the premise, Big J.
Yeah.
And if you can get her correct, you are officially qualified. I think today should go okay. We shall see. But if you think you want to give it a shot, get on the phone, 208-287-1003, and let's see if you got it in you. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Hello, the X.
Hey, morning, guys.
Morning, man. Who's this?
This is Jeremy.
Lots of Jeremys on the show today. Jeremy, we are going to play you a song. You have to tell us the artist or the title. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy, we need you to name that band.
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's take a shot at the dark and go with Guar.
Guar is not the band we are looking for there, but thank you for trying and playing along. We do, as always, appreciate it. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
How's it going, man? We're going to play you a song. You're going to give us the artist or the title. Are you the artist or the band? Are you ready?
Yep.
Here it comes. Anything ring a bell there, sir?
Not really.
No?
I'll go with Mushroom Head.
It is not Mushroom Head. No.
Love
thank
that
you
guess, though.
very much for taking a shot at it. Maybe somebody else could know it. Hello, the X. Ooh, hello.
Hello.
Hey, turn down your radio and listen to this song and give us the band or the artist. And what you got?
I got Beartooth.
Yeah! You nailed
baby.
it. Good job, man. What's your name?
My name's Cy.
All right, Cy, congratulations. You're officially qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. That, of course, the song In Between by Beartooth. Nailed it on the third try. Well played, sir. Good job, Cy. You are officially qualified. Another chance coming your way this time tomorrow. Keep listening for your chance to get qualified for the X's Rockstar remodel. We are going to do some bad impressions. That's next on the X Rocks.
Jay.
Yes, indeedy. And we got a nice prize here for Bad Impressions. Tickets to Dance Gavin Dance Return of the Robot Tour, which is hitting the Revolution Concert House and Event Center here on June 25th. Of course, once upon a time, an X-Fest band, I guess last year, right?
Indeed it was.
So enjoy them and have some fun here with us in Bad Impressions.
All right, you want to go to the show? Then you want to get on the horn, 208-287-1003 for these concert tickets. If you can figure out the famous person, question mark?
Yes,
then
yeah.
you need to do that in 3 clues or less that he is going to give you. If you can conquer that particular quiz, it will be you going to Dance Gavin Dance. That show coming up, of course, on the 25th at the Rev Center. And maybe, just maybe, you can mosh it up with some friends, have a good time, talk about good times, swap X-Fest stories from last year. Remember when Dance Gavin Dance was there? You're both laughing, having a good time. And maybe, just maybe, it makes your day, your week, your month.
I would say a free show.
Yeah, listen, I mean, like concert tickets can be expensive sometimes.
Especially this day and age.
If you have a chance to win some free concert tickets, then it's always a good thing. So let's see if we can't give it a shot. Big J, what are your clues?
We'll start out with this one. It's not a tumor.
Oh, okay.
Take a wild guess. Get to the chopper.
And of course, your patented third clue. I don't think they ever changed.
No, yeah, they do. I didn't. It's not a tumor. It hasn't been in there in a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's your usual number one?
Get to the chopper.
Oh.
And I usually don't, but nobody was calling, so I had to make up a third clue.
Why is Arnold Schwarzenegger in the news, Big J?
Variety magazine, they have this series called Actors on Actors, and he interviewed his son Patrick. And it was basically about nepotism, and Arnold stunned to see his son's weenie in The White Lotus.
What?
Nick. Patrick Schwarzenegger's junk, I guess, it makes an appearance. You saw The White Lotus, right? Season 3?
I guess I don't remember that.
Quote, I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, I'm watching your show and I'm watching your butt sticking out there, and all of a sudden I see the weenie. What was going on there? This is crazy. And he was on said to himself that he did the same thing in Conan and Terminator, so he didn't know why he was complaining about it, but it was just a shock. And then they went on to talk a little bit about nepotism and how Patrick Schwarzenegger had considered not using his last name because he wanted to, stand on his own a little bit. Arnold said, I'm glad you kept the name because now I can take credit because he thinks he's been doing a fantastic job in acting. And he said, you joined a very short list of people. Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she's one of the greatest actors in history. If you show you have substance, you can get rid of the whole idea of nepotism. It certainly helps get your foot in the door, though. But not everybody can open that door once it's like cracked open.
Sure, yeah, you still have to have some sort of talent in order to pull it off. But also, again, it's different now than it was back in the day. Like if Jamie Lee Curtis changed her name to like Jamie Lee Anderson and she didn't have the Tony Curtis kind of thing, I think she'd be okay. And you could probably pull that off. But now we all know who you actually are and who your mom and dad is. So, it doesn't matter what you change your name to. We'll know if you're
who is your daddy and who does he work for?
But there is a lot of them working and starring in a lot of things these days. I mean, listen, there's Jack Quaid out there who's got some very famous parents.
He's becoming a huge deal.
There's Dakota Johnson, who's been around for a very long while.
Hot deal.
Also has some very famous parents. So Nepo babies are taking the world over, Big J.
Yep.
And that is why I can't wait for you to have another one. So that little Big J can be running around and doing Big J things.
None of them wanted to. Tried.
No, I know.
Radio,
but
man.
no, I'm just talking about, an actual like Big J Jr. When you have your boy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Not happening.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your bad impressions. We wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. Wrapping things up. We didn't quite get a movie review today from Big J. He had some technical difficulties. We'll get one tomorrow for an invitation to murder, so you're going to want to be a part of that. We did get a chance to talk a little bit about movie merchandising and the products that you can find from those movies, why it's a bad idea to start a fight with your children's principal and when your kid gets called for fighting. And of course, we even got people qualified for some pretty big prizes. That leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Yeah, yesterday we had a sold-out show with Sleep Theory, and we did a meet and greet. We had spent some time in line. But, I just want to say to all the listeners out there, you guys are awesome. So we had, Will, Diana, Tacey, Efren, Matt. I got to spend time getting to know all of them, but we had a lot of fun just messing around and sharing stories. So I just want to thank all the listeners for being so cool through all these years. And sometimes these meet and greets that we do take a lot longer than they're supposed to, and they're very patient and much appreciated.
Yeah, same thing. When I went to see her and did a meet and greet with a bunch of people that listen to the station, it was always great camaraderie and really good people, and we had a really good time. And by the way, credit where credit is due as well. Over the last week, 3 sold-out X shows that have happened here in the Treasure Valley between Seether and Black Keys, and then last night, of course, Sleep Theory sold out the Knitting Factory as well. That is a great thing for rock and future concerts coming to town. It's a really nice thing to say, so thank you for spending your hard-earned money on bands you're clearly excited about, but the more we can sell rock tickets, then that makes it possible for additional shows to come on through. It's good for everybody involved, so well done, X-Army. We are very, very appreciative of you for sure. Morning After with Nick and Big J. That is it for us. You guys have a great rest of your day. Jason Drew is coming in here next. We'll see you tomorrow. It's the X Rock.
Big and